Chapter 5, Bonds Forged in Rowan's Lab. Sand Gem Town was smaller than Cage had imagined. The buildings clustered close together, painted in warm colors, their windows glinting in the afternoon sun. A salty breeze drifted from the distant shore, carrying the faint scent of the sea and the sound of wingell overhead. After the encounter with Timo and I, the town felt like a sanctuary, a place where the shadows couldn't reach, at least for a little while. Yoru squeezed Cage's shoulder as they reached the edge of town. Almost there. You did well today. Cage nodded, still shaken but proud. They'd faced real danger, and made it through. That had to count for something. Mesut's instructions echoed in his mind: find Professor Rowan. The Pokemon Research Lab stood at the end of the main street, larger than any other building, its white walls gleaming. A sign out front read Rowan Pokemon Institute in big blue letters. Inside, the lab buzzed with activity. Assistants in lab coats dashed between tables covered in books, computers, and pokeballs. Monitors displayed maps of the region, and the air was filled with the gentle humming of machines and the occasional squeak or chirp of Pokemon being studied. A man with thick gray eyebrows and a white mustache looked up as they entered. His presence filled the room, but his eyes were kind. Professor Rowan. Welcome, Rowan said, voice deep and steady. You must be the travelers Mesut mentioned. Yoru bowed. Yoru of Hokkaido, and my son, Cage. We had a run-in with Timo and I just outside town. Rowan's brow furrowed. You're lucky to have arrived safely. Their activities have grown bolder lately. I fear Sinnoh is in greater danger than most realize. Cage glanced around, eyes wide. Are they really making yokai Pokemon? Rowan nodded gravely. They're experimenting with ancient artifacts, masks, stones, things best left undisturbed. Pokemon have always shared a bond with the spiritual, but Oni twists that for power. He studied Cage for a moment, then smiled. But you didn't come here just for warnings. Mesut said you would need partners for your journey. Rowan gestured to a table where 3 Pokeballs rested, each with a colored button, green, red, and blue. These are the Sinnoh starters, Rowan said. Turtwig, Chimchar, and Piplup. Each one is special, and will grow with you on your journey. The bond between trainer and Pokemon is what Oni will never understand. Cage stepped forward, heart thumping. He remembered the wild Bidoof, the corrupted Zubat and Ekans, the stories of Pokemon back home. This was his moment. Rowan smiled at him. Go ahead, Cage. You first. Cage studied the Pokeballs. He reached for the blue one drawn to the water type, maybe because it reminded him of home's rivers and the quiet strength beneath the surface. He pressed the button, and light burst out, coalescing into a small, proud Piplup. The penguin Pokemon chirped, standing tall despite its size. Cage knelt, meeting its eyes. Hey there. Want to be partners? Piplup blinked, then gave a determined nod, waddling forward to nuzzle Cage's hand. Cage laughed, the fear of the last day melting away in that single, warm moment. Rowan turned to Yoru. Your choice, old friend. Yoru smiled, eyes distant, as if remembering another life. I always liked a challenge. He picked up the green Pokeball and released the Pokemon inside. A Turtwig appeared, shaking dew from its shell. It looked up at Yoru, sizing him up, then nodded approvingly. Yoru grinned, crouching down. We'll make a good team, won't we? Turtwig gave a happy grunt, already at ease. Rowan nodded, pleased. These Pokemon will stand by you against the darkness. But remember, the journey ahead is dangerous. Timo and I will not give up easily, and Ma is cunning. They've already tried to infiltrate this lab twice. Cage stroked Piplup's head, feeling a surge of protectiveness. We won't let them hurt anyone else. Rowan handed them each a Pokédex, a small, sleek device that blinked to life in Cage's palm. This will help you understand the Pokemon you meet. And it can record anything, out of the ordinary. If you see any more yokai Pokemon, document them. We need all the data we can get. Yoru bowed respectfully. Thank you, Professor. We're ready. Rowan smiled, but his eyes were serious. You have allies in Sinnoh. The champion herself is aware of your arrival. If you ever feel lost, seek out Cynthia. She knows more about the old legends and Team ONI than anyone alive. Cage tucked the Pokédex into his bag and stood, Piplup at his side. For the first time since leaving Hokkaido, he felt like he had a purpose. He wasn't just Cage, the quiet boy who watched from the window. He was a trainer now, with a partner and a mission. As they left the lab, the sun broke through the clouds, casting long shadows across the streets of San Gemtown. Cage looked up at his father, who walked alongside his new Turtwig, and together they smiled at the adventure ahead. Piplup chirped, eager for the road. Turtwig plodded beside Yoru, steady and calm. They had their Pokemon, their purpose, and each other. Team ONI's shadow loomed over Sinnoh, but Cage and Yoru were no longer alone. As they set out toward Jubilife City, the first true step of their quest, Cage felt the weight of his Pokeball in his hand, a promise, a hope, and a spark of courage that would carry him through whatever darkness lay ahead.